boy bleeds. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, true believers? Still dealing with this camera issue. Can't seem to get it to work right for anything. Thanks, StreamYard. Anyway, we're going to be off StreamYard pretty soon. We're going to move to something else. I'm going to have to learn how to do all this kind of stuff. But, you know, at this point, it's just getting kind of ridiculous. So here we go. Guys, look, crypto is blowing up right now. The markets are going absolutely parabolic. I'm down 10%. How the hell does that happen? Oh, wait. I'm down 30% on Blocky. I am like everywhere you go, I am down while the market is absolutely exploding. The only thing where I'm getting a good profit on right now, and luckily it offsets everything, is Bitcoin and OM, which is pumping only a little bit, but it's enough. It's enough for me to have a nice little move. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in. We're going to talk about this again. Cameras off center. Everything is just all messed up. It's just, but luckily we're moving some of this stuff around and it's going to get better in the next couple of days. So I was just as a matter of fact, before moving the studio a little bit, I was waiting to see what would happen here with this camera over the next few days, because it's going to suck to move the cameras and everything. And then StreamYard starts working the correct way again. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's see what's going on in the news. And by the way, if you're on MAGA train, you're not going to like it. All right. So what we've got here is, I'm going to pull this up for you guys. And by the way, you might want to hold on to somebody if you're in the MAGA bucket. But Ghislaine Maxwell didn't hang herself next week. So let's first of all start with that. And secondly, talk about Pam Bondi, DOJ, to make Ghislaine Maxwell decision after Epstein backlash. So here's what happened. Number one, Ghislaine Maxwell has approached Donald Trump about a full pardon. Trump administration, after considering it, said, I don't think that they're going to do it. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell has now appealed to the Supreme Court because she wants information to be public, because she says that it is a lie that there is no Epstein client list, which is placing pressure on the Department of Justice and the Trump administration for lying and deceiving and misleading the public about what is going on. Pam Bondi's leadership at the Department of Justice has come under further scrutiny because of the Jeffrey Epstein case. And she said now she's appealing to the Supreme Court. And right here, Bondi has faced severe criticism from within the MAGA base after a report by the DOJ and FBI last week stated that there was no Epstein list and no evidence that the New York financier blackmailed prominent public figures. This has sparked accusations of a cover-up, as Bondi appeared to suggest in February the alleged document was sitting on her desk. So in order to force hand Ghislaine Maxwell, it says that she has never have been put on trial due to a plea deal between Jeffrey Epstein and Florida prosecutors in 2008. A filing by her team, seen by Newsweek, reads, despite the existence of a non-prosecution agreement promising in plain language that the United States would not prosecute any co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein, the United States, in fact, prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell as a co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein. Of course, at this point, we now know that, which is absolutely wild to think about, but if there's no list, what do you do wrong, right? So it's getting very, very weird in MAGA land. It's getting very, very, very weird. By the way, we're not broadcasting on X anymore. So you might see, you might not feel it, but you know, the people who are normally on X that you'll see in the chat are not in the chat right now. Because, oh, by the way, the reason for that is I stopped paying Elon. There's, you know, he's not doing anything for me. He's not building my X account. He's not doing anything to help me. He says that I get a boost by giving him $40 a month. I'm getting the same interaction right now without it that I was getting with it. So that's a lie. So, and also it could be the fact that I can't keep my mouth shut about ridiculous things that he wants covered up. So, you know, you never know. Anyway, so this is going to be a problem, I think, for the Trump administration. Will they survive this? Of course they will. I mean, look, I don't see that there's going to be a weird sort of crazy few moments. So we might have to deal with a little bit of sidetrack BS, but ultimately, this is gonna be weird. Okay, so here, by the way, to summarize exactly what's going on right now, Jamie Raskin, Democrat in the House, is now calling for a subpoena for both Dan Bongino, who is upset. And by the way, for those of you that don't understand, Dan Bongino has refused to report to work. On Friday, he refused to report to his assigned as the assistant director of the FBI. On Friday, let me say that one more time, Dan Bongino refused to report to work. Reports are this morning, Dan Bongino has refused to report to work, okay? Because of what's going on here right now. This was something very near and dear to his heart, and he is unwilling to lie to people about what's going on. So this is very, very interesting and very weird what's happening right now. Pam Bondi, by the way, has not made any kind of statement other than, you know, why there's a minute missing and stuff like that. So this is going to be very, very interesting how this all plays out. So now we're going to move on. Now that we've done that, now that we've said that, by the way, obstacle for crypto. All right. But it is crypto week right now. And crypto week is off to a resounding beginning. All right. SWI is up 14%. Bonk is up 10%, XDC up 12%, Uniswap 11.8%, Algo up 13%. Where's Hbar? Hbar was absolutely mooning the last bunch of days. There are some red spots in the market. OKB, we've got Sonic Chain, we've got Tron down a little bit on the day. By the way, I told you Tron, I think, is going to be one of those big movers. Hasn't moved yet. And then Trump is down about 1% as well. Now, you might be asking yourself, you may ask yourself what is going on right here. And basically what I would tell you is this: major alts, like right here, are starting to move. We're starting to see money flooding in, but most of it's going to go into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is where the cash is made for the next pump. Okay. Now we haven't seen the next pump. What does that mean? Well, Solana is where it's going to come from, right? So Solana is at $168. Solana was at $300 a few months ago. So there's going to be some movement here, but we're not looking at the major alts. We're just seeing what I think we're seeing right now is we're just seeing a little bit of layering right now of people who want to put in some risk for that next big uptrend, that next big upward move. Ethereum, just a little over 3,000 right now, struggling to keep that 3,000. But again, for the month, Ethereum is up 20.8%, and it's only down 3.5% on the year. So we are seeing the start of what should be an altcoin season. However, Bitcoin has to continue and finish whatever it's going to do. Now, in the second, you see Turbo up 34%. Turbo, by the way, that should mean Speedy is moving. I'm not tracking Speedy right now, but it should mean Speedy is moving. Also, to give you full disclosure, I am no longer partnered with Blocky, but I bought some more Blocky this morning. I bought an extra million Blocky because it dipped pretty hard, down to like 303. There was some unlock that happened, and I looked at that as a potential buy opportunity. I've spoken with Roger. I do think that there's some interesting stuff that's probably going to happen here over the next little while. I'm not at liberty to really discuss it because I don't really know everything that's going on, but I think Blocky's probably going to have a nice little move. So I moved, I sold the shit that I sell. I sold my wine coin and one other one. Winecoin and cash, and I put actual cash in USDC. So we are now holding a lot more blocky than we were before, and we'll see what happens there. But Telcoin up 15%, Deep up 12%, CVX up 14.7, XCN up 16.8. Moving around, Zio 22%, REC 31%, Fun 22%, KDA 12%. Moving around, BGSC is up 45%, Ski, Dog with Ski Mask is up 41%, Banana up 20%. So it looks like Solana. I think this is a Solana one, by the way. So I think that we might be seeing a little bit of movement in Solana meme coins right now. Again, big moves here, not huge, but 10%, 20%, stuff like that. Leo says, what's up with WeSol? Any news? I have no idea what's going on with WeSol, to be honest with you. I reached out. So for just full disclosure on WeSol, I am holding a bag of WeSol, and it is my understanding that their website, which was supposed to be done last week, is going to be done this week. So I haven't seen anything in relation to it yet, so I don't know exactly what's going on. Also, I reached out to Sean. I said, hey, Sean, if you want me to keep talking about it, then, sponsor the channel, and I will take WeSol tokens. I'm not looking, and I'm not looking for a lot. I'm just, want a sponsorship on the channel so that the things that I'm talking about, I'm getting paid to do. And he said, no, right now we're not doing anything. So I don't know what's going on. And they didn't tell me, and I haven't seen anything, and I don't know what is going on at all on WeSol. Again, they said last week they were going to do something, didn't happen. I'm sure that it will happen this week, or at least I have reason to think that it would happen this week. Also, I do think that by Wednesday, we should probably see some appreciation on price for, we should see some appreciation on price on WeSol, but that's no guarantee. I have no idea, again, exactly what's going on. And by the way, it's going to be still tough for a lot of these cryptos to make those moves. The reason it's going to be tough is because, again, Bitcoin has to run for people to have more money. So I'm not exactly sure. We'll see what happens right now. Derek Hine wants to know, why is the project that's up 25% in the last 14 days trash? I don't know. It's up 25%. The question of why something is trash is because of where you bought it. So if you bought those dips when it dipped down into the 5 realm, well, now it's at 64. So you're up a significant portion on that. So I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about it in just a few minutes, because there are some very interesting things that are going on with Luna Classic. So hopefully those will resonate with more people. Yesterday was a good start to what I'm talking about, though. We're at 74 on Fear and Greed Index. This is the first day, by the way. We're going to zoom in here just a little bit. Look at that. That is Bitcoin going back onto exchanges. That is a sign that people are selling their Bitcoin. This is a great move, by the way, for altcoins. The market is up 2.4% on the day, up 88 billion. We just hit a new all-time high in market cap. Also, total 2 having a nice little run, but higher than the total. Total 3, same thing, but total DeFi really starting to move right now. Not near where it was before. We still got a long way to go, but we've had these are some very, very, very positive signs. Bitcoin right now, I gave you 124,096. Man, I wish just almost $1,000 away. God damn it. It would have been awesome if that thing had wicked up to 124,096, wouldn't it? Anyway, Bitcoin went to 123,181. And it is still continuing on this little surge right now. Will the U.S. market embrace, and will we get a pump going on? I don't know yet. I want to say that I think the next, and by the way, I just saw somebody say the next surge that they think is going, that we're right now in a move that's going to end at 132,000. And here's the funny thing. There's my 124, right? But right up here, right up there just happens to be. And this is that long trend line that I've been giving you guys for a long time. And guess what? They say that we're about to wick up and we're about to touch 132,000. So as a matter of fact, while we're doing that, you know what? I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because I know my Bitcoin long is in a great position right now. And it's going to trigger a full take profit at some point very, very soon. So then I'm going to have to decide what to do with that for the next rally, or which one should I, where should I enter for the next rally? And, to be fair, like in the event that this thing, does exactly what I just said, then you got to be looking at a retracement that's going to like not be that much. I mean, it retraces back down. If it goes up to 132, 133,000, then you're talking about a retracement back down to maybe 170. That's how high everything is right now. And that's on the daily, by the way. So that it may not hold. The weekly makes it look even bigger because we've just been in an absolute tear right now. So the question is, and by the way, when we got on that last tear right there, what was our breakdown? Our breakdown was from the pivot to the top. Our breakdown was to the 618, almost exactly to the 618. So we went from 109, 110,000 up here down to like 74, 75,000. We play this out the same way on this last sort of full-on impulse right there. Then when we find the 618 from the pivot right there, we're talking a pivot of 107,000 right now. So I probably sideline my money a little bit, hold on to it, and then just go long back at 107,000. Just set a buy order, see what happens. So because I think that Bitcoin will have that. I think it's going to have that dump. But here's the thing that's kind of important right now. It is altcoin season index. Look at this thing, 35. Remember, we were at 14 not that long ago. And I said, when we're sitting down here, it was actually right. I feel like it was 14, but I guess it was 12. On June 25th, it was at 12. We were talking about it. You know what? I think it was actually over here, maybe. Yeah, there we go. That seems more, we must have been talking about it in early June right now. That this is the great time to accumulate. Remember, this is the moment where I said, this is where you got to get in, because this is where all this shit starts to really, really happen. So from June 25, June 25, where's Ethereum from June 25? So on a daily, on June 25, where were we on June 25? On June 25, we were at 2,398. 2,398. Today, 3,000. So was this a good move from 2,398, 3,000? 28%. 28% gains on Ethereum over the last not even 30 days. So, these are big moves that are happening in this market. So kick ass, I guess, is the best thing that I can say. Now, in bad news, fucking Dev-E hasn't done anything except dump. Last night we had a little bit of a pump, a little bit of a reversal, and we've got Dev-E still talking about the Wild West. Where blah 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 blah. They're still doing what they've been doing, which is just nothing. And the result of nothing is an absolute dump. So the other part to this is, I felt like off of that last move, Fibonacci gave us this right here. Fibonacci at the 618 right there. I felt really good about that spot right there. And I thought, this is a good, run. Maddie B says, Dev-E is not your finest hour, believe. Guys, I've been telling you to buy this since 12 cents. And you're at 50 cents right now. So if you're telling me that it's not my finest hour, then you're full of shit. You bought the top. Again, this is all about where you bought. If you bought where I bought and you had it way down deep, then you're feeling really good. If you bought the top because you don't do any of this technical analysis or anything like that, and you don't look at where the opportunities are, yeah, you probably feel that way. Now, and I can't fix that for you, by the way. Like I can't fix that for you. Like you've got to buy dips. You've got to buy dips, and then when it rips, you got to take your profit along the way. Like you don't need to hold it forever. Like why are you holding bags? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's not me. That's you, boo-boo. So, and also, by the way, even if you said, well, no, bro, you actually gave it to me at 40 cents because I wasn't paying attention until it got up into this, well, I guess you could say like 30, 20. You know, we were talking about it right here in this 26, 25 range right here. So you're up almost 2x off of it if you listened and you paid attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. Anytime you buy. Oh, and by the way, you know what? Let me break this down for you. Here's what I want you to do. And I don't want you to take my word for it because I'm not going to use it. Go to Grok. And by the way, if you have it on your phone, you can use audio. And I just want you to say, Grok, I want you to examine DevE, and I want you to examine the potential for a partnership with NASDAQ, and I want you to give me a price prediction on DevE, the cryptocurrency, DE, make sure you spell it DEVVE, in this bull market, if they announce a sponsorship with NASDAQ. And guess what they're going to tell you? You did? You guessed it? Oh, look at you. How sharp. Dev, and I did this morning, so I know what Grok says. Grok will give you an estimate of anywhere between $25 and $70 per coin. Right now they're tokens, but per coin at that point, because the NASDAQ partnership means that much and will change fundamentally the way that this crypto is traded. So when that announcement is made, and it will be made, expect a $20 to $70, and this is not me, this is the most advanced AI algorithm on the planet right now, Super Grok. And if you don't believe me, go ask Super Grok. Oh, you're not paying $40 a month for Super Grok? Go ask regular Grok. They're going to give you the same thing, between $20 and $70, because that's what the value is. The question right now is not whether or not it's going to pump. The question right now is, at what time is it going to pump? So it's just a matter of an announcement. It's a matter of the exchange. It's a matter of people figuring out exactly what is going on. Mantra will come back eventually. Mantra is at 23 right now. And if you guys remember, I was buying this stuff at, I mean, like, I keep going and I keep going and I keep going. So I'm down 46% right now, but you guys saw it with the other day. It was $700, $762. It's now $942. So we're up $180 right now. So there you go. A nice move, by the way. Oh, and by the way, oh shit, I should have showed, you know what? Let's go look at, if we're still logged in, if it didn't log us out for some stupid fucking reason, I bought more OM over here on Weeks because I think now that it's available on Weeks, I'm just doing that as well. So every time I get some USDT, we're going to go over to Spot and we're going to buy a little more because I'm convinced that this thing is going to absolutely send. So we're going to go here. We're going to hit buy, and we just bought some more. And now we are holding on to how much we got here. We got 669 OM available to us over here as well. So boom, boom, boom. Karen says, you also encouraged buying at other spots, but I'm not mad. And that's exactly right. I'm going to encourage you to buy it at all times because even Grok says that I'm right. $25 to $70 is where this thing goes and runs to. This is a millionaire making project. It's just a matter of that announcement. And if you can't, and by the way, if you can't stand if you can't stand to hold, that's okay. You know, go find a meme coin, go whatever. It's okay. And you didn't take any profit at $1.80, no matter where. Like Karen said, I encourage you to buy at other spots. You're absolutely right. Why didn't you sell any at $1.50, $1.60, $1.70, $1.80? Pay yourself for what it is that you did. That's your fault, not mine. You know what I mean? It's simple. It's very simple. As far as the futures go, we're up $377 right now. We're up 88.96% right now on the Bitcoin long. Okay, so boom, shaka, shaka, laka. Mr. Tanker says, You looking good, bro. What is your workout routine? Steroids. Just kidding. What is my workout routine? My workout routine is probably not for you or anybody else. So my workout routine is ridiculous. Okay. And I do, by the way, bench press. Then I do chest, I do back, I do legs in a rotation. I never take a day off. And then on one day after legs or before legs, depending on whether my legs feel good or not, I do shoulders and arms in addition. But every single day I start off my workout with calf raises because I want my calves to be bigger. By the way, if I showed you my calves by comparison, you'd be like, oh my God. But I take a body part that I think is weak and I work on it as a strength. One of the other things was, this is the upper area right here, and it's about the traps and stuff like that, right? Trapezius is where you find a little bit of strength, or where you give people the impression of strength. So I've been building the traps a lot as well. And the reason I've been building the traps a lot is just because I don't need to be strong, but it would be good if I looked strong. So that's really what I'm doing. There's no, and by the way, it's every day, calves, every day, traps. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. And by the way, I would recommend it to everybody. Like I would recommend it to everybody. So there you have it. Now you know my routine. It's very simple, by the way. Again, I'm not recreating the wheel. Oh, by the way, the one thing that I would say that if you're working out, your concentric 1 second, eccentric 3 seconds, concentric 1 second, eccentric 3 seconds. Like allow your muscles a chance to break down on every rep. So when you're on a bench press and you're letting the weight come down, let it come down slow in a controlled fashion, and then push it back up in a strong fashion, and then do the same thing over and over again and apply that to everything that you do. And I assure you the results will come very, very quickly. Also, I'm on BPC 157 and I'll be on Somorlin in a couple of days. I just ordered a batch of it. So I'm going to try that out. It's supposed to be a naturally occurring HGH. So we'll see what happens there. Mike Israel did that too. I don't know exactly what's going on with him. I saw something about it the other day. Also, your team sucks. So Nick Chubb, how do you let Nick Chubb go? What kind of stupid shit is that? Like, what is Nick Chubb? You just like, we don't need Nick Chubb. Okay, market is starting to break down just a little bit. Dow Jones down 50 points. Crypto is now down to 70 billion, up on the day still, but down, but up. It's up 70 billion, which is down about. I mean, this thing really, really surged a little while ago. You can see that right there. So you got, America slurpy, sucky, selling off on the market, but all-time high crypto was today, the all-time high market. And by the way, we're just getting started on the altcoin phase of this rally. So I expect this thing to go so much higher. Now, why do I think it's going to go so much higher? Global liquidity. First of all, we had this continued move. We've got a continued move here. We are surging right now. We just went through the surge. Now it looks like we got sideways action, maybe a little surge coming up here in the next couple of days, but then boom, 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 boom. Going to continue on. Final prediction for XRP is $25. My XRP prediction is available right up here. My next target zone was going to be right here. Anywhere between 6 and 750. And then we're going to have an absolute banger breakout and 40,000 coins to become a millionaire at $25. And I think that the market is going to take us all the way up to that level right there. Shadur QB1 in Cleveland. Now we, oh my God, you think so? All right, man. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't have room to talk because my team is the Chicago Bears and they have to do something before they can, prove something. But they didn't let Nick Chubb go, whatever, man. So 40,000 coins to become a millionaire at $25. I think that XRP is the asset right now of the altcoin season, and that's going to be the one with the just massive breakout move. All right. So, and by the way, this liquidity thing doesn't really work the way that I'm trying to do it right now, but, looks pretty good. Look, this whole market is looking really good right now. Bitcoin, if you did Bitcoin the same way and said, well, from the bottom here, pivot to the top, pivot here. I mean, look at that. Goes up to 170,000, like duh. But here's the thing. This is this yellow line, which I know I'm kind of spacing around here, but that yellow line right there, that's global liquidity coming back into risk markets. You can see here, it dumped for a couple days up here. That was around middle of September, started dumping a little bit, but guess what? It rounded over here and it looks like it's headed back up. More liquidity is about to be put into the market. So, guys, I think we're in fantastic shape. Now, of course, the American investors got to suck liquidity out like it's made out of dick. So, you see that all that money that came into the market is being sucked back out by Americans. I'm actually a girl. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So the continuation is going to happen. And the reason the continuation is going to happen is because the markets are still adding liquidity. Oh, by the way, have you seen baseball cards lately? Have you seen comic books lately? They're going crazy. The price on everything is really starting to appreciate. You're starting to see just a lot happening in these markets right now. Also, by the way, for those of you that didn't see, I went to see Superman last night. And crazy story. I think that they created Bizarro. So that's going to be pretty fun to see, in I think Superman 2, whatever it's going to be called. But I think what they're going to do is it's going to be I think they created Bizarro. He's just not, my boys were on stage with Trump last night. The best team in the world. I don't know who that is. I have no idea. I don't keep up with Trump. I don't keep up with, I don't keep up with a lot of stuff that I normally used to keep up with. It is about working out in crypto right now. And that's about all I make the time for. So I'm missing out on quite a bit right now. And by the way, just like everybody else, I get driven by BS. So when I see something ridiculous on X or something like that, then I might comment or something like that. But then I'm done. And then I move on and I just don't, I absolutely don't care. Chelsea Grin. No. All right. No. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, so liquidity is still pumping into the market. Also, there is another one right here. I'm going to change this moving average for you. I'm going to show you something right here. Because I was told that if I did this, that this would be a very interesting thing to see, right? So the one we're going to do is SMA2 and SMA4. So we got SMA2 right here, and we're going to change that to 111. And then we're going to change the length over here to 350. Right there. Now, I am told that if I look at this, then this is a predicator of that. This is a great predicator of markets pumping. That when this gets real close, every time it gets close, we get a strong bounce. So right here, it got real close, strong bounce. This is the 111 versus the 350, by the way. So got real close right here, boom, significant bounce. Got real close right here, boom, significant bounce. Getting real close right here, boom, significant bounce. So when it breaks down, by the way, it breaks down over here and you start to see, coming down. Here's the thing. When you saw that crossover over here, you had crypto total market cap, 248 billion. And then when it came back over here, 1.98 trillion. So that's an 8x, 9x from where you were in your position. Now we look at it on Bitcoin, see the same thing. Like if you bought your Bitcoin over here, when we went bullish on the 111 to 350, Bitcoin was at 9,025. If you sold when it crossed back over on this day right here, Bitcoin was in that 40 to 38,000 range. So, yeah, that crossover right there seems to be that seems to be a real good indicator. And look how much it's breaking out right now. Now, the word is that when we start to see this convergence over here, when it starts to touch back down and we start to see it really start to decline, that you're going to see that breakdown, and that breakdown happened in February of 2022. But if you didn't buy the top, if you didn't sell the top, just in case, then this seems like a pretty good indicator of how market conditions are going to go. So we're going to remove that again. We're going to go back to 50 and 200. There we go. All right. So, and by the way, remember, these are all lagging indicators. Almost everything is a lagging indicator in crypto. So it's telling you what's happened before, not what's going to happen again. Also, by the way, don't forget that this right here, when I zoom this a little bit further out, like you make an argument here that, a lot of this is part of, a much longer sort of trend right there. So, that could be very, very interesting. But what I think is, if we get a surge up here to the top of this range, do we get a dump back down here to the bottom of this range? And what would that look like? Extending this out just a little bit, what would that look like over here? Well, we get a run up into that 132 level. That's what I was talking about before. We could see a catastrophic sort of breakdown back into this range right here. And why does that matter? Boom. We have a futures gap that we have still not closed right there at 92,000. There also appears to be a little gap right here at around 96, 97,000. So it is my estimation that at some point we're certainly going to revisit these areas. It's too much money on the table to not. And you can see here, when you have these enormous gaps, they get filled. When you have these enormous gaps, they get filled. So very, very infrequently do these gaps not get filled. So this has been an excessive move. This excessive move right here on that huge gap right there, which is, again, occurring right there, boom, double top, and came back down into that range. So we've got what looks like a double top right now. And by the way, it looks like a bearish divergence. So if it doesn't play out right there, and we've got right there, so we've got a bear divergence, which means price probably coming down. Question is, how far will it soar before breaking down? So, and by the way, the U.S. market's online, so probably see a breakdown today, because that's what they do. So, that's all I guess. All right. So anyway, let's get back over here and let's kind of close this out now. Fias is up 15% on the day. WeSol is up 15% on the day. I still hold my WeSol. Again, I added more Blocky because Blocky dipped, and now Blocky's up a little bit more from where I bought. I bought at 31. Just a little while ago, I want to say here, what time is it? 41. So I bought before the show started. So there we go. I bought 600,000 right there and 100,000 right there. So bought at 31 and 31.4. So I'm up 10% off of that already. So in the event that we get a continue, and by the way, the reason for this sell-off is because, look, we have to be honest here. Roger made some mistakes early on. One of the things that he did that he should not have done was he gave Pepe Cubed. He allowed people to, like, he did an airdrop for people that were holding certain, like, that was crazy. Like, basically, he's just giving your liquidity from Blocky away to other people, in my opinion. I mean, that's really what it is. Thinking that he could entice some people over and that they would become floor holders. Nobody's interested in being a floor holder at this point, other than people who are getting trapped in and buying tops. All right. Everybody wants to get a nice little pump. They want to get a nice little 3 or 4X. They want to take their profit out, and then they want to get their moon bag, and they want to move on and then just, not really care about what's going on. So, this is the price to pay at this point for playing that game. Now, the question is, will there be a reversal? And that's what we're looking for. So there we are. Again, we're in this range right here. There has to be a reverse. So confidence is shattered right now, to be fair. Like confidence is shattered right now, and there's going to need to be a big and significant move, right? Roger can't pay, and do that. So what happens? Well, I mean, you got to do some marketing. You have to do some, I mean, Jay Manuel said, I was in the airdrop and still adding to my blocky bag. Well, look, the problem with that ecosystem is that there's just too many, like, we're just moving from crypto to crypto. We're not focused on one crypto. We're just moving, like right now. I mean, what's the incentive? Weasel. So everybody's moving their money into Weasel for a Weasel pump. And that's taking away from what Blocky is doing, if anything, Blocky is doing. So, I mean, we'll have to deal with the dump. We'll have to deal with what's going on, and then hopefully there'll be a nice little reversal. So again, I put some more in just to see what would happen here. If it 3x's, I'll take $200 back out. You know what I mean? If it doesn't, then we'll just hold it and hold it. But there's another project coming out in the Blocky ecosystem. You guys probably know that by now. We've already been sending out memes on Rocky and stuff like that. So, maybe we'll see something happen there. But again, you can't give away the farm and think that everybody's going to be good, because people are not. People are dog shit. They're going to take the money and be like, better me than you. Hug it. Meme Link, by the way, we haven't talked about that nearly enough, but Meme Link, which went up to 32 cents back in May and then retested in June at 27 cents, down to 13 cents, looks like an opportune moment for a pickup. So if you haven't already, I want to say it looks pretty bullish to me on the setup. Another run up here into 23, 24, 25 cents, probably 2x or something on Meme Link, maybe coming up. And that's Pablo's project. Market cap was as high as 16 million on Meme Link. So it was a great opportunity with a low 106,000 when it launched. So if you got in there, that was what's 120x, something like that, 120x, 130x. So Pablo gave you another big winner. So if you don't recognize it because you don't like Pablo for some stupid reason, that's on you, boo-boo. CC Cash is up 3.8%. Mantra, again, we're going to talk about Mantra at some point going forward, but around 23 cents right now, up 3% on the day. Mantra is going to break out. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with it. It just had a bad moment with an investor, so there will be a breakout moment. CC Coin up 2%. Volt, as I told you, not doing anything. Wine Coin, we're going to remove Wine Coin right now because I just sold my bag and put it into Blocky, and I don't want to be reminded if I flub that one. API 3, 72.3 cents. Moving along, not, again, waiting for a breakout, waiting for that moment. We need that rotation into the mid caps. We got big alt caps and stuff like that. We've got some random stuff that people are speculating on. By the way, you can throw in a little money and move a lot of chart with micro caps. So that's what you're seeing happen. You're not seeing, big projects getting big stuff happening. You know what I mean? Abundance Grace says XRP to $500 by the end of 2026. There's no way that happens. There's not enough money in the market for that to happen. It would be 25, would put it at 2 trillion. You're talking about something that would have to go to like a $50 trillion market cap. Bitcoin is not at a 50 trillion market cap. So there's just no way for something like that to happen. TARS AI is at 8.19 cents. TARS AI, another good pickup where, like the last time it ran, 250 million market cap back here in December of 2024, most likely going to do that again. When you look at the price right now, again, I do think that there is a big move ready in the pipe for TARS AI. Remember, this is the only AI protocol with the Solana Foundation. So I look, it's an opportunity. Bud is down about 10% on the day, but that's after Bud was down about 30% on the previous day. You reach for the stars, you get a little bit too hot, and scumbags are going to dump on you. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. O'Hare is down 22% on the day. I'm not done with that one. Still holding on to a little bag of that, but we'll see what happens. Blocky just had a big sell, it looks like $340. Remember, these people are unlocking right now. The trans community is unlocking their tokens, and they're just 333, 355. That seems coordinated, doesn't it? Like this right here. That seems pretty coordinated right there. They bought 17 million. They sold 18 million. So they got free tokens. That's an airdropper. This person bought 2 million, sold 2 million, made 14 bucks off of it. That's a good one. This person bought 1 million, sold 1 million, and lost money on it. Like, retarded. Fucking Christ. Oh my God. The rookies. All right. So anyway, 24-hour DEX volume still looks like BSC is bullshitting. I don't know any BSC coins that are trading. So I don't know what's going on here. 3.15 and 1.71. That seems more realistic. So, as far as the bull market, we are at zeros. This is hodl territory. So even the experts in the market are telling you to hold because the bull run is here and just chill the fuck out and stop being a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, thank you. On Friday, we had inflows of $1 billion into the Bitcoin ETF. Duh. And then Ethereum, 69,069, dude. 204 million in inflows. It just continues. Guys, we were talking about this at 2 billion not that long ago. Now it's at 6.3 billion overall. Just in the last, look at this right here, in the last 30 days, $4 billion has entered Ethereum. Guys, I'm telling you right now, everything right in this market is getting ready for a significant move. It is just a matter of moments. Also, I'm going to be giving away more money over here on Terra Casino. So sign up today. There's a link in the description down below. Sign up for Terra Casino, and we're going to be doing some giveaways one more time to run it back. And by the way, if you win, then you get yourself a nice little boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? So, and if you want to trade the Believe coin or any other Luna Classic in the ecosystem, terraport.finance. As far as the validators go, some crazy shit is going on with these validators. I'm not sure what's happening right here. 17 billion just got unstaked. 20 billion just got unstaked. Like, I have no idea what's going on. Moonshot lost 4 billion in stake. Quantum Nodes lost 1 billion in stake. Vegas, which was one of the top ones. Baywatch lost 3.9 billion. Vegas Nodes 61 billion. Like, what the fuck is going on with, like, it is weird. There we go, right there. That's the withdraw stake right there, 81 minutes ago. Transaction hash. We don't know who this is. We don't know what this is, but they, yeah, that is just fucking wild right there. Transaction hash. It's not a named wallet or anything like that. So, you know what I mean? So we can drop this in here and do a Google search, but there's nothing to it. So whatever wallet had 60 billion just unstaked from, and by the way, could be because they're going to stake it with Juris protocol. Just for some clarity's sake here, there's a lot going on. So, maybe we'll get that right there. Also, they are like begging me to come get verified one more time. And Elon, I just look, I mean, not a fan. Also, again, saw Superman. Where is it? Okay, and if you're interested, you can go check out this Terra Classic Market Module 2.0. I had 4 questions that I was able to ask yesterday about this. So it was it was a great opportunity to have a conversation and discussion about what's going on in the ecosystem. So, as a matter of fact, let's go over here and close that. And it was boom, 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 right there. So if you're interested, you can go listen to this. It's going to tell you a lot about the market module, what it can do, what it cannot do, what it will and won't, and all of that. Whatever you need to know, it's going to answer the questions for you, or at least most of the questions. If you have more questions, you can certainly ask me what those questions are, and I can relay it to the team, and maybe we can make something happen here. But there is a significant amount of burn that they're looking to implement. And by the way, the market module as it currently exists, just being re-enabled, does not burn a whole bunch of tokens. Okay, it's all burned by the tax. So basically what we're trying to do is create an incentive for people to come back onto the chain in order to trade on chain as opposed to off chain. Now, at one point, remember, we had over $100 million a day being traded. Now it's down to about 14 million per day on average being traded. So That 14 million, by the way, most of that is being traded on Binance. So there's no burn on Binance. So we're going to motivate and incentivize people to come trade on chain. And that in itself would increase significantly the amount of burns. But that is for a later time. People are still working on that. Some geniuses trying to figure out what the next path forward is. Also, somebody asked, what do I think of SWI? SWI is, look, I think SWI is one of the big gainers for this next market. And it's had this enormous breakout again, June 25th, right here, June 25th, where I told you we're at 12, whatever that number is. Remember, I went long on it at like $3 and I ended up getting liquidated down here. And I didn't go back in because I put everything into Bitcoin. Actually, I think on my SWI one, I didn't get liquidated, but I was down 70%. I'm like, I'm taking that 30% and putting it in Bitcoin. I would have gotten liquidated, by the way. Like when I say that, if I had held it any longer, that I would have been like right in that dip right there. So I just moved it all over into Bitcoin. And I don't like the fact that I lost it, but I would have lost that I gave up 70%. I don't like that, but whatever. So there we have it. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to get out of here and go work out. And I got a bunch of content coming out pretty soon. We're going to do some, I keep telling you guys we're going to do some different stuff here, but I feel like I'm waiting to move the cameras and move everything around in the studio. And then we're going to make something big happen. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right. Thanks for checking me out at the Red Bull